Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be very, very brief on this. I want to be honest and say that sometimes I get very, very afraid of the future. But the Most High's word comforts me because I know what His word says. And His word comforts me, especially when it says, I will keep you in perfect peace if your mind is stayed on me. I had talked to my family not too long ago, and I expressed some of the things that had me a bit fearful. I was very, very honest in this. And this is what happens. Fear is what happens when you allow your mind to drift away from the Most High. But it's like before I talked to them, I actually got an answer from the Most High. I just wanted to share with them that I was feeling a certain way, and that I had a conversation with the Most High about what I was feeling. A number of different things. It's just a number of different things, y'all. And so, as I talked to the Most High, His word very clearly spoke to me and said, I will keep you in perfect peace if your mind is stayed on me. And so the things that we tend to ponder on from time to time, instead of us pondering as in wondering, how is this going to turn out? What is it going to be like in the next 10 years or the next 5 years or the next 2 years or the next 1 year? Instead of us wondering about those things and pondering on those things, it's better to try the Most High. He says, I will keep you in perfect peace if your mind is stayed on me. I wanted to share this because a lot of times when people follow a ministry, they assume that the people that they are following never experience anything negative, that they never go through any struggles, that they never feel any type of anxiety. Now, this isn't something that's ongoing, right? There are certain things and certain situations that will cause anxiety, and if you don't deal with it properly, if you don't deal with it right away, those thoughts can creep in. And so sometimes you find yourself in those moments where you don't bring your thoughts into captivity. And yes, I have been there before, right? With so much happening in the world, with so many people going through very tough times, so many people getting sick, losing their lives, dying, all kinds of things happening. And when you allow that stuff to just swirl around in your mind for an extended period of time, you can find yourself filling up with anxiety. But when you get to that moment of anxiety, when you get to the peak of that anxiety, and you realize that this is not a good feeling, this is not how I want to feel, then you say, I will look to the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Most High. Those words encouraged me, family. And when I heard the Most High speaking to me about keeping my mind on Him, there are so many things about the Most High that if you just ponder on those things, you'll be all right. If you ponder on those things, you will be all right. A good example is the fact that He knows our thoughts. He knew us before we even came about. He knew us in our mother's womb. We were known of Him before the foundation of the world. Our lives is as a storybook that's already written. So the word also tells us that worrying will not add 1 cubic inch to our stature. So it's pointless. It is actually a waste of time to worry about tomorrow. But like I said, from time to time, even those of us who others believe never go through moments of struggle. You have those who believe that we never go through moments of sadness and tears. There are moments where it does happen. But I thank the Most High that I know that my Redeemer liveth. I thank the Most High that I am able to go to Him in prayer. I am able to cry to my Father and tell Him how I am feeling. And I was so comforted by the fact that He will keep us in perfect peace if we keep our minds on Him. So in other words, as we live on this planet, as we see the things that are happening in this world from day to day, don't allow ourselves to be engulfed by fear. Don't allow ourselves to worry about things that haven't happened yet. We know that certain things have been prophesied, but there are some things that, regardless of prophecy, you can't wrap your mind around these things. Like your loved ones. Sometimes my husband and I talk, and he talks about how his siblings are all getting older and older. They're getting older. And so, for anyone of our family that may see this, those things are of great concern because we love our family. We love our families, and when you know that there's going to be a day and time where you won't be able to pick up the phone and say hello or I love you to someone, sometimes that can weigh heavy on you. Especially when there is distance and time between you and those loved ones. But again, the Most High's word comforts us when He says, I will keep you in perfect peace if your mind is stayed on me. We have to understand that tomorrow is not promised to any of us. That for every one of us, there is an appointed time to no longer exist in this realm. We have to understand these things and be not afraid. We have to understand that when it is our time, that if we are at peace with the Most High, to live is Christ and to die is gain. If you can comfort yourself with those words, you will not worry about tomorrow. If you can understand the very concept of trusting in the Most High, you won't worry about tomorrow. We know someone who recently lost a very close and dear loved one. And I must say, if that person sees this video, I must say that I was very, very comforted and encouraged by their courage in such a deep and personal loss. Their handling of that situation was so profoundly blessed that I'm sure that many who heard of all the details were touched by how it was handled. For someone to give the Most High the glory, the praise, and the honor for such a deep and personal loss, that took a lot of courage, a lot of faith, a lot of strength. And I found that it was utterly amazing to see that kind of strength with that type of loss. I'm reminded of a dream that I had some time ago, many, many years ago. Looking back at the time, the child that I was pregnant with at the time, this was more than 17 years ago. In that dream, I had asked the Most High a question. I had asked Him about tying my tubes so that I couldn't have any more children. Initially, I had asked my husband if I was able to do that because I was pregnant at the time and I wanted to be able to do that. He says, well, you're going to have to pray about that one. So you're going to have to ask the Most High about that, if I could tie my tubes. At the time, I was pregnant with my 5th child. And so what I ended up doing is I prayed. I says, Father, I want to know if it's okay for me to tie my tubes. I was getting tired. You know, pregnancies for me have been very difficult, okay? You know, so I was tired and I said, okay, I think this is enough right here. But when I prayed, it was a very short time later that the Most High spoke these words to me in a dream in a very short time. See, because the doctor told me that if I'm going to have my tubes tied, that I would have to do it, I would have to schedule it in advance, that I can't just have the baby and say tie my tubes. They actually have to schedule it. And so I had a certain amount of time, so the Most High was quick with his answer. In that dream, the Most High spoke very clear words to me. He says, those are not your children. They are mine. And he says, and you are not your own. You have been bought with a price. When I heard those words in that dream from the Most High, I was so comforted. I was so comforted by that. He answered so quickly, so clearly, so precisely the question that I had, the concern that I had. And of course, I went on to have more children after that. And so when I look at them, I'm like, these are not my children. They belong to the Most High. They are his children. And so I am comforted by the fact that they are his and I am his. And that I don't have to worry about anything, because everything that Yah has entrusted into our hands, it all belongs to him. Every last bit of it. That's why the word says, in him we live, in him we move, and in him we have our being. Our very existence is in him. Our lives are not our own. So why worry about tomorrow? There is a set time for everything. Everything under the sun. And so we cannot live our lives governed by fear, knowing that the will of the Most High Yah is the only thing that matters. Our fear doesn't matter. Our anxiety doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is our trust in the Most High. That's where I choose to shift all of that energy. It happens from time to time. For the most part, family, I live my life knowing that tomorrow isn't promised. But sometimes the enemy will try to creep up on you, and he will try to pull you into that place of anxiety and fear. He will try to do that. But we have to bring those thoughts into captivity. We have to also allow ourselves to seek out and to search out Yah's answers instead of our own. Because our own answers will be to ponder on that fear and that anxiety instead of seeking out the Most High. He is our solution. And so whatever he has planned for our lives, that is what we prepare for. I thank him for his word. I thank him for his encouragement. I thank him for helping me to understand that yes, our lives is but a vapor, but we are in his hands. And if you put your trust in the Most High Yah, he will not let you down. I just wanted to bring these encouraging words and to share with you my testimony of something that tried to grip me. It was a different kind of fear than the fear that I was dealing with as a young person. It was a totally different kind of fear. Nonetheless, it was fear. But I thank the Most High for his deliverance. I thank him for his clarity in his word. Thank you all for listening as I'm out here shifting the water from place to place on this lovely garden that also belongs to the Most High. The earth is the Most High's and the fullness thereof. the world and they that dwell therein. It all belongs to Him. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, be encouraged and have no fear.